Yes.
Hey, had to
Oh,
shimmy with it, so.
the shimmy with my cast.
Oh, hey y'all, hey, it's another episode of Bonafide Her podcast featuring the one and only Miss Dominique Wilson. Beep, 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 beep,
Woo!
beep.
Hello, go pack.
Yes, go. How you doing, girl?
I am good. Still out here in Latvia doing rehab. Like I'm sitting here like squeezing the ball, getting my ligaments back in order. And yeah, just enjoying life, taking it day by day. Excited that we get to reconnect after 8 years. Crazy.
I know, 8 years,
I know.
girl. And it's the fact that our birthdays were in the same week, so I was like, this is perfect.
Right. Right.
So
Exactly. How are you?
blessed to be alive. We blessed to be alive another day, another blessing. Just
Mhm.
just living my best life as possible. But yeah,
Absolutely.
in Charlotte with it. So
Oh, that's a nice area though.
the bigger the city, the bigger opportunity. So
Absolutely.
let's get to it. So Miss Dominique, can you tell us your sports story and how you got to where you are in your journey?
Oh my God, my sports story. Yes. Okay, so started playing basketball at 10. Went to, and I'm gonna chop this up because everybody's sports story can be long. Went to McEachern High School, and then I actually played at the University of Arkansas my freshman year. Started as a freshman, did really well. Transferred to North Carolina State, as you know, again to go Wolfpack. Had a great team, great people around me, great teammates, and we went on an NCAA run and just started that momentum of what NC State women's basketball is now, which is very dominant, ranked in the top 25 almost every year. They get top recruits. But anyways, graduated. Didn't get drafted in the WNBA. Things happen, and still just played professionally overseas. And then took a little break after 5 years of playing overseas, and then now back at it. And just finished my season out here with TTT Riga. I'm out here in Riga, Latvia. If y'all don't know where that is, that's in between Russia and Belarus because I didn't know where it was until I got here. So that is a quick summary of my basketball career.
Girl, you went like all over the place. I remember you got what's it called? You got called for a training with I think the Aces, I
Yeah,
believe.
with Vegas. Yeah.
So what was that experience like?
Man, that experience was, I don't even know how to put it into words. Like just being around like top players, like of course like Aja Wilson, which is who is the face of the WNBA. Um, just where we were staying, and then of course we were in Vegas, so they put us in like this, I want to say it was maybe a condo, a hotel, like on a strip. It was just beautiful. Got a great facility. Got to compete at a high level, which that's all I wanted to do. So I'm grateful for it. It didn't make the team, but I'm still grateful for that opportunity, and I learned a lot and I grew a lot and I met a lot of great people. So I enjoyed the experience all around.
Absolutely, like, cause I was like, I remember you were part of the draft class. You were in Maya Spencer were part of that draft class too. I was like, yay! So, cause when I was telling you, y'all had y'all had a great team. Like you, Maya, Chelsea, Akilah, like
Mhm.
every like just man, like what was that like? Y'all had that run too. What was that run like?
Um, that run was bittersweet to me because I've always felt like that squad that we had, we could have been did that like uh 2 years before my senior year. But I felt like a lot of people just had to find the confidence in themselves and just find their way on the team. And that took 2 years. And then finally, my senior year, we gelled together. People were more confident. And we just played as a team. We knew where each other's strengths were, weaknesses, and we just had each other back. And then we also had great players coming off the bench, and especially like freshman Ace, Aislinn, Conan, My bad, Ace. She was a great shooter, great scorer. So we had great added pieces that just helped us get to that NCAA and the NCAA run. So
For
it was
sure.
awesome. Mhm.
Girl, because I was enjoying y'all's like I was like, man, they just going at it like, and it's crazy you mentioned Ace. I was like, man, I remember Ace too. Like, it
Mhm.
was, and so my question for you is like, what was the transfer process like from going to Arkansas to NC State, especially with both um teams are in like big conferences like the SEC and ACC?
Yeah, it was nerve wracking. I hate things like that. Even in high school, I hated going to college tours, college visits, because I just felt like it was a lot of pressure on me to, oh, come to the school, sign with me, blah, blah, blah. So I just hate stuff like that. But I took my time and I went to NC State because Coach Moore, that was going to be his first year coaching there. It was going to be like a whole new coaching staff. And Coach Hill and Coach Edmond, who are both not there anymore, but they were the assistant coach. They were recruiting me when they were at their other school. I believe Coach Edmond was at TC or James Madison. I believe it was James Madison. And Coach Hill was at Georgia Tech, I believe. And I love both of them. I wanted to go to their school. I wanted to go to Georgia Tech, but the head coach thought it was just too small, which is crazy because like 5'8", that's a normal height for guard. And then James Madison, that didn't work out. And then having those two coaches that I love as a assistant coach at North Carolina, and then you have a new coach coming in, which is Coach Moore. I thought it was a good opportunity. I went there. Explored the campus. I loved Raleigh. It was like 6 hours away from Atlanta. And honestly, I had North Carolina, then I had Miami to go to afterwards. But after I left Raleigh, I just committed. I didn't even go to Miami. I was just like, I'm sorry. Like this just feels right. So that's how the process was.
Cause girl, man, like especially you from Atlanta, like there's some Atlanta hoopers that can hoop.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, what's that like to come from? Like, what's it like to be considered one of the Atlanta hoopers to just make it so far and make a legacy of your own?
It's a blessing because, like you said, there are a lot of great hoopers in Atlanta, and to be considered as one of them is something I do not take lightly. I do look at Atlanta as one of the best cities, but Georgia as a whole, like the best states when it comes to basketball, and just the pros that come out of Georgia, come out of Atlanta. It's a long, long list. People can look it up, go on Google, look it up. So I do not take that lightly, and I'm grateful for it.
Yes, because y'all, it was like you had Alicia Gray, you had Lexi Brown, you
Mm-hmm.
even have Jalen Brown, which I'm like,
Diamond the Shields, De'Erica, like the list goes on.
oh, I
Maya,
didn't know De'Erica was from Atlanta.
yes, yeah.
Hey, I learned something new because I always hear that she went to Wake Forest. I was like, okay, yeah, I heard about that. Like, but
Yeah.
it's a like,
Hmm.
because I'm just like, I'm here for it though. Like, the list of it is, and you mentioned Diamond. Okay, because I remember y'all played against each other like during that
Yes.
same time.
Hmm.
So, with that class, because you played against Diamond DeShields and Lexi Brown around that time area. What was that like playing against those two hoopers that are now in the W?
Um, it was familiar. Their family. We played on the same AAU team together. Like we knew of each other. We played against each other in high school. I didn't play against Lexi in high school. For some reason, our teams never met. It was either in the tournament, like our team got kicked out or her team got kicked out or whatever. But we both played on the same AAU team. We worked out together a few times. So it was just like playing against family. It was really nothing new. It was cool to play against them in college, and their career was crazy. Like their stats were crazy in college. But again, it was just familiar with me because they were family. So I didn't really look at it any different than any other game. I take every game seriously, so I just was grateful to go against competitors like them.
For sure. And my question for you is, what was the transition like going from college to preparing you for the overseas?
The transition was rough. It was rough only because I did not do my due diligence of researching um, like agents, like what you need when you go overseas, the top leagues, the teams you want to be on. I didn't do that. My focus was college basketball, graduating, and the WNBA. So that was on me. So it was a little rough understanding which agent would be best for me, which league I need to go to help my career, especially as a rookie. Um, but I would say competitively, I still took it seriously. I still was a gym rat. Actually, playing overseas, they wanted me to relax more. I will always be like, when can I come in the gym and shoot before practice? Blah, blah, blah. They like, you need to relax. I'm like, why? Why do I need to relax? Like, I just put up some shots, whatever. And then in college, they want you to do more. So I brought that mentality with me. So I found that was weird that they overseas, it was more like chill, relax your body. But in college, they'll run you to the ground and still tell you get up. They don't care. So just the transition of getting my feet in the right area in the right place where I can just grow my career further down the line was a little tough, but I got through it.
I think my thing is because I've heard so many stories about overseas, and I definitely
Mm,
want your perspective of it. Like,
mm-hmm,
especially like the misconceptions of overseas. Because I know some people like, oh, they may think it's easy and stuff, and I'm like, man, if you heard stories from actual players that play overseas, you're gonna probably think a little bit different. So, what would you say?
mm-hmm.
What would you say is the misconceptions of overseas and its competition?
One, that is easy, like you said. Two, that the players that play over there are the ones that can't. They're over there because they can't make it in the WNBA. They can't play at a high level in their own country, which is the United States. I would say those are the two, and then three, you don't make any money. So these are the things I've heard. One, first of all, right now you make the most money playing overseas. It's changing slowly. The WNBA started to pay their players more, and there's starting to be more leagues created in the states. Two, the level of competition is ridiculously high. You're playing against players from other countries that played in the Olympics. You're playing against their top players. So regardless where you're at, you're still playing against elite players. And then three, the WNBA only have 13 teams now because of Golden State, and they keep a lot of players on their roster until they're like 36 through 40. So it's like really one spot open for people every year, if that, because before the NIL deals, I know it was a big thing because it was like a rookie class that the people that got drafted they got cut from training camp, and it's like no other league cuts their rookies like that. But that's because there's no room for new people to get in. So that doesn't mean you can't compete there. It's just there's no spots for you. But it's a lot better now.
Yeah, because man, if NIL had existed when y'all were there, man,
Listen,
y'all would have made so much money. Like,
I would have had about 2 cars, rental properties, all that. Like they don't know how good they got it because when we were in college, we were barely getting paid, and a lot of people who graduated were dead broke. I was one of them. We were dead broke, and we had to finally create income for ourselves after graduating college because you don't have time to go get a job while you're in school and playing is impossible. And then over the summer, you take that time to get better and train. You don't have time for a job. So these athletes, man, they don't know how good they got it with these NIL deals. It's players overseas that are trying to make it to the States, and they don't care if they play or not because they'll still make money just riding the bench. I'm like, listen, I might go back to college and play for a year.
Because I remember, like, what was crazy is when I was at state, I did a whole paper of, like, and I had to, like, I think I asked you, and then I asked Pharaoh, that the football
Mm,
player that used to, because I was like, man, I asked, like, a couple people, and I was like, do y'all think, and it was the paper I did was, do you think athletes should be paid? College athletes should be paid. And
mhm,
majority of the ones that asked said yes. Like everybody, like the ones that I've heard was, you see everybody wearing our jerseys and like the fans wearing our jerseys and we're not
mhm,
getting compensated and stuff. And it's like,
mhm.
it's crazy how this is what we're doing and it's a job. And I think and I literally, and it's crazy because I literally made a whole TikTok not too long ago where, um, using the "Good Kisser" by Usher's like line where he said, "The devil is a liar." Dun, 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 dun. Basically,
Mhm.
the topic was college athletes have it easy, and I'm like, no, they don't.
Right.
Absolutely not. Like,
Right.
like just like from your experience, you can definitely tell, like you can
Mhm,
actually tell folks like, no, that's it's not easy. Like you said,
mhm.
it's a job. Like you had to try to figure out like when's probably your next meal is, like whether you get gas or your meal. So
Yeah. Yeah. And the time management part is like, do I want to go to sleep right now and probably take a nap or start this project? But when I was in college, it was a lot of regular students that were thinking that we had it easy, and I'm just like, y'all just don't know. And I don't believe that you think that. I think that you're jealous because if you knew that it was easy, I think you would have worked hard in middle school and high school to try to get a scholarship to play a sport. But the fact that you didn't, I think you know why. It takes a lot of time and commitment to get good enough to get a scholarship. They know it's not easy.
that man, because y'all try getting up at 5 in the morning for workouts. Y'all try that. Y'all let me know, cause
Listen,
then
listen.
and then
Mm-mm.
have to rush to go to classes, like because I remember seeing somebody posted like, why do y'all wear like sweats and stuff? Do y'all not want to dress up and stuff? I'm like, I'm pretty sure they do. They want to dress up nice and stuff, but they don't got the time for that. Like, I gotta
No.
go to practice like probably 10 minutes after class ends. So I'm like,
Hmm. Yeah. And then you try to like put food in your mouth, slam food in your mouth while you're walking in class and drinking, and trying, just trying to make the time work with the little bit that you have.
for sure, like my question is, what's it like to see the growth of women's sports, like really growing how it is now, especially with viewership and now like
Hmm.
revenue where people want to all of a sudden buy merchandise of their favorite women's players?
It's beautiful. I love it, and I'm so happy for the players, especially the players in the W, because since the W was created, there was a fan base, but then died down a little bit. And now, the fan base is coming back and growing a lot more. So it's just beautiful to see people respect women athletes. They're going to the games, they're loving it, and they're going back and bringing more people, telling their family, telling their friends. So I just really enjoy watching the ladies getting the respect that they deserve. It's beautiful, and I'm enjoying the continuous growth.
Man, because we try to tell you.
Right.
Like
And
if you just
mhm.
tuning in, I'm not gonna say it's too late, but we told you so.
Right, we told you so. And then you still have, you're always going to have haters. They're like, oh, well, they don't dunk, but now we're having female basketball players that are dunking. And honestly, we out there playing harder than the guys. A lot of people enjoy watching us, and I've seen people comment that we're not crying. We're getting up with after getting like bowled in the face or something. We're getting back up, brushing it off, and still playing. While the guys, they like to lay there on the floor and take a minute. But so a lot of people enjoy us because we're just playing harder. We're tougher, rougher, and that's what sports is about. Well, in the era that we grew up and we watched, like the early 2000s, like the Shaq, the Kobe's, the Ben Wallace, we've seen people actually get punched and all this other stuff. So I think a lot of fans now are. I mean, I don't want to sit here advocate for violence, but they want to see athletes like just
Be
be
physical.
tough. Yeah, be physical, be rough, go at it, like actually compete. So yeah.
So who's that? Who's like those players that really like inspired your game, or who was that player that really inspired your game?
The players that really inspired my game was one, Skylar Diggins. I just loved how hard she played. I loved that she loves like the floaters, but she loves creating and getting to the cup. Like she's a very physical player. And she can shoot it. Her shot is freaking beautiful. Of course, Steph Curry, Kobe Bryant, the usual. I feel like I'm missing someone. Now I do like watching Jordan Poole's game. I feel like he's very creative off the dribble and just scoring wise. Um, wow, I am missing someone. I feel it in my soul. Don't you hate that? You get a question and you just like, your mind goes blank.
You're like, I just had a moment real quickly.
Right.
It's like I could
Um,
see their face, but the name is like
yeah. Cappy Poindexter. Um, yeah, man. Those are the people that I usually watch. Yeah.
man. My question is like, because I remember you were a huge Kobe fan, and
Yes.
man, I it's already hard to grasp that he is
Mm-hmm.
not here anymore. 5 years
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
But what's it like? What was it like to see the impact that Kobe has made to where it's dope to advocate for women's sports. You know, it's dope to wear the orange hoodie. You know, like just basically making being that blueprint where now all the NBA players and are now wanting to advocate for women's sports.
Yeah, well, Kobe always seemed to me like someone that, didn't discriminate against people. He just respect anyone that goes out there and tries their best, work hard, and he's seen that in women's basketball and women's sports in general, or in any athletes. And then he had his daughters, and then his younger daughter Gigi that passed away with him. Um, she was in basketball, and as a person, as a woman who had a father that was like a coach and like trained me as well, they just want to be there for their daughter. They want to be immersed in the world, and while you're learning it, they're learning the world as well, even though Kobe Bryant knew basketball already. So but I'm pretty sure his daughter also pushed him to go to those games a lot more, even though he still went. So, um, yeah, I just think it's cool that he inspired more male athletes to watch the watch women's sports, and just see that it doesn't matter if you're a male or female, you're an athlete. That's it.
For sure. And my question is, I
Mm.
noticed on the thing it says still an athlete podcast. So first of all, you gotta let us know what it was, how you created Still an Athlete podcast, and what's it about.
Yes, ma'am. So literally before I jumped on, I'm sitting here learning how to edit, the podcast videos. Man, that's not for the weak. Uh, it's not. But still an athlete, I created it because I felt like in my life, I knew I wasn't alone, but during that period, I felt alone when, I didn't get drafted. I tore my meniscus going to my senior year at college. Now broke my freaking wrist. But in the past, I felt like I couldn't talk to anyone. when I wasn't playing basketball because I just felt embarrassed. I felt like I lost my identity. I didn't know my purpose other than outside of being a basketball player. And I fell into a deep, deep depression. And then while I was going through that, I was hearing about other athletes going through the same thing. A few I've heard like try to commit suicide. And now as I'm acting and writing, and I feel like I know I found my other purpose outside basketball because I love this way more than being a basketball player, which is crazy. I just created Still an Athlete to create a community for the younger players or players that find themselves retiring involuntarily or not, and they don't know their other purpose. So it's going to be interview based like this. I'm going to have ex athletes who created empires outside of their sports and just have them speak and just give tips and more guidance for those other athletes that were in the shoes that I was in the past, and just let them know that you can find your other purpose. There still is hope, and that you're more than just your sport. So that is what Still an Athlete stands for. And I'm excited to drop my first one tonight. After I get this.
Woo!
Woo-woo!
Let them
Thank you.
know.
Thank you. Thank you.
So my question for you is, I always say that athletes are human first because
Yes.
for me, like, I feel like athletes' mental health is such a topic that needs to be normalized a lot more, especially like listening to them. So my question for you is, as a black woman and as an athlete, how important is mental health?
It's very important. Like I was just mentioning, I felt alone and I was in a deep depression. And I feel like you don't have to go through what I went through, but there are other athletes that go into identity crisis or just get depressed and feel like they can't talk to anybody because some people be like, you have the world, like what are you talking about, you're a professional athlete, like you're making money, yada yada yada, but they're not really knowing that being an athlete is very, very lonely. You're always on the road. You're hardly around family unless you create a family. And even then, you're still not around them. You're missing opportunities. There's some people that go overseas and a family member dies and the team does not send them back and they still have to play. So that really can wear down on your mental health. So, and then, as a black female, we are still going through discrimination and racism in our country, but like in other countries as well. We have to keep our radars open, because it is true, like when we walk down the street, we always get stared at. And I experience that a lot with my other teammates, especially especially when they're like 6'4" and taller, black female. They're just like always in our face. But yeah, and you just want to feel accepted, and then that there's something special inside you, and you just keep living, keep trying to do the best that you can. So mental health is just important for any and everyone.
For sure, because man, Lord have mercy. I think it's one of those times where, like, you try to figure out, like you said, like, there's times where it's those identity crisis. Like, who am I without my sport? Like, what other
Mm,
passions do I have and stuff? And it's especially if it's something that you've known all your life, like the
mm,
sport you played. So it's like, what do I do? Like, but
yeah.
I think
I, I know
just
this is my. I'm sorry. I know this is your podcast, but how did you like transition from sports and then finding your other purpose, and then now being a podcast host for Bonafide Her?
girl, you ain't got to be sorry. So transition from sports to, oh, I would say that's, I think because I would say it's a little, now if you had asked me about like now, transitioning wise is really you try to find your place because I still want to be around basketball all the time. Still want to be around the sports and been around the sports for 28 years now. So
Mm-hmm.
like, I mean, there's times I still hoop, just you know, um, and to just creating my own podcast just because I want to be able to provide a platform for every female athlete, women in sport, or advocate of women's sports to share their
Mm-hmm.
stories because I'm pretty like I don't want to say I'm pretty sure they never got a chance to. That's assumption, but I feel like every person had that. Every person should have that opportunity, whether they're in college, whether they're professional or not. You know, everybody has a story, um, and just this to balancing with graphic designing with my business, my own business, to still writing for beautiful ballers. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of time management, but I enjoy it. I always say to people, you don't. I always say to folks like, you probably never seen someone like me, a woman in sports that's on the autism spectrum, doing something like this. So I just want to be able to, in ways, kind of just carve my own path, leave a legacy, and just hopefully be like considered somebody's favorite woman in sport, even if I'm on the spectrum. So I'm like,
Yeah.
so
Mhm. Well, you're doing it. You're doing it, girl. So you're gonna get there. Just keep going. All you can do is just take the action. You have the dream, and you're taking the action. So it's gonna happen. You gonna blow up. To me, you're big because this is like what you're doing is not an easy feat. Like writing, graphic design, and having your podcast, girl. Big respects to you. Seriously. Oh, just stop.
no, because I be cry. I ain't gonna lie. I be like, man, I'm gonna cry later, and I be crying sometimes. Like, man, I'm usually the one. My thing is, I when it comes to praises, I always give people their flowers and stuff because I'm just like that. But when I'm like I'm receiving, I was like, y'all don't make me cry. I don't really. I'm like I don't really be like. I try to embrace it. It's like, oh, finally getting something. I don't know how to embrace it, but it's just being very humble about it. So bless it, Lord. So bless it.
Okay.
But
But
I just want to say you are amazing as always. Like you've been A1 since day one, because always, and just like you said, 8 years. I can't believe it's been like 8+ years since like we've known each other. Like
yeah.
I'm just like, look at God.
Yeah, time flies. It's crazy. Like we were just in North Carolina, like in college. What happened?
Cause girl, I remember I was like in some building. I forgot which building it was, and next thing I know, I was like, I see you walk. You were outside. I was like, I just seen you. I just seen you. You're like, oh hey. I was like, inside.
Hey.
You're like just walking to class, probably like just, oh hey.
Yeah,
It's like yeah, she's she's on
probably
a mission.
hustle.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
so my question for you is, um, when it comes to representation in sports or in women's sports, how important is representation?
You saying like as the athletes representing for like the younger females out there?
Whether it's that or just, being that role model for them or just,
Mm-hmm.
seeing someone that may look like you or have the same journey as you stuff.
Got you. Yeah, it's super important because we all been there as kids. Try to find someone that looks like us, someone we can look up to because we're just trying to find our place in the world, and we're not sure if how we are is right and if we need to change. And then finding someone that is in a place that you want to get to, for example, a women's basketball player, and they look like you, and they act like you, and act like how you want your higher self to be, I find it extremely important. And that professional women basketball players or just professional female athletes shouldn't take that lightly, because you didn't get where you are today without looking up to someone or someone helping you as well. So just always think back and giving back to the younger athletes, to the younger generation. Just remember that now you're in a position for someone to look up to you. So it's a it can be scary, but it's doable. So I find it important.
Ooh, you better let them know, cause
Did I drop T? I don't know. Just
oh,
kidding. Just
you,
kidding.
you drop some, you do drop some gems, you know,
Little jabs here and there.
the jets here and there. So, but my question for you is, how would you describe your journey?
Mm, man, that is a great question. A journey that is rocky but still becomes smooth at the end. A journey, man, a journey that had a lot of life lessons, a lot of growth, a lot of tears, injuries, but at the end of the day, just helped me grow stronger, helped me become a better person, a better woman, and a better basketball player. So I'll call it a journey, just like any other journey of learning. That's it.
Ooh, let me get my little fan effects, cause ooh,
Girl, but you know, like anything in life, when you're trying to go after something, it's like that journey looks crazy. Like you're here, then you drop back down, then you might do a circle. It's just all over the place. But as long as you just keep moving forward one day at a time, one step at a time, you're going to get there. And just don't beat yourself up. Just learn from it, grow from it, and just keep going. That's it.
it's like just keep on, just keep swimming, just keep.
That's it. Just keep swimming. While you're wiping your tears, just keep swimming.
Yeah, just I don't know why I just do a little fish
Little fish with the fin. That's
Yes,
it.
like
That's cute.
shout out to Dory.
Right, right, right.
So I always ask my guests this question because
Mhm.
Bonafide means authentic and unique. So, what makes Miss Dominique Wilson Bonafide? What makes your story stands out?
Oh, great question. I hate questions like this though,
Oh,
because only because I am not the type of person that are like wrapped up in myself. So it's hard for me to talk about myself, but I will take a jab at it. I will take a jab at it. So what makes me bona fide, I would say, is my love for just people. Which is so funny. Some like my family might be like, "Oh, she don't like people." Look, I like people. I show up, I show up in the room and I treat people how I want to be treated and with love. And if, they want to send stuff that are lower than love, then I'll block them off. But I say what makes me bona fide is just loving people, wanting people to be the best selves, have confidence in themselves, and just enjoy being here, because we're not going to be here forever. So just enjoy your life. Um, yeah, girl. Hope that answered your question. I'll try my best. I am terrible
girl,
at
you
that.
did. You're like, I hate this type of question.
Yeah.
I was like, girl, you did it. You did that.
Thank you. Thank you.
You did that. I was like, I could tell you are very loving, even though people were like, "Why is she loving?" I was like, "No, no, no, she's nice. don't let
Yeah.
don't let the poker face fool you."
It's really not a poker face, man. It's like I don't know. I just have a the resting bitch face, and 9 times out of 10, I'm not even here. Like my mind is gone. I'm thinking about something else. I probably was zoned out, and people are like, "Why is she looking like that?" Girl, I'm not even realize I'm sitting watching TV right now. I am gone. So yeah.
It's like she's probably watching the game, but she's somewhere else right now. She's watching it,
Yes.
but somewhere else. Like
Yes. Absolutely.
it's like
Probably thinking about
it's like probably a million things on her mind, just it's like here
Yes.
but not here.
Yes. 9 times out of 10, right now it's anime, horror, writing, or acting, or a new show I just seen. That's it for right now.
Like anime, horror, writing, like anime, horror. I was like, oh, I'm here
Yeah.
for the animes and I'm here for the horror
Yes.
movies and shows.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I'm here for those. I mean, I ain't watched American Horror Story in so long, so
Yeah. Yeah. I
but
haven't
it be
seen the new season.
man, it be too real. Like the,
That's why I like them.
it's like I
Yeah.
know one of the seasons was too real. I'm like, okay, like this is it's like this is too scary. So well, I feel like at times we live in an American Horror Story with how this country is looking like. Like
Girl, yes. Actually they had a season when it was like that.
it was.
Yeah,
That one scared me the most.
because it was real.
Too real.
Yeah. Mm-mm. I
Like
love it.
so. Miss Dominique, can you let the viewers know how where they can find you and follow you if there's any upcoming events for you?
Yes, ma'am. You can follow me on Instagram. It's Dominique Wilson underscore. And you can also follow my new podcast, Still Period and Athlete. You can find that's where you'll find me. Other things, good luck. I'm just really on Instagram. Facebook, I just not really just on there for family purposes. That's where you can find me. I'm sorry. Just Instagram. Hit me up there.
I was gonna say, girl, I remember your media day pictures that y'all did with the like the red and the white ball, and you had the dress on one time. Oh,
Oh yeah. Yeah. That they made us yeah, they so we had one with the uniform and then one we have to dress up. And it's like I loathe that because if we didn't have someone to come in and do our makeup, that mean I had to do my makeup. I didn't know really how to do my makeup back then. So I was just like, I'm just gonna shoot this bare face, put some mascara on, some powder, lip gloss, call it a day. And then my other teammates come out, face looks phenomenal. And I'm just like, oh well, it is what it is, I guess.
I remember those photos. I was like, oh my gosh, she killed it on the media days. I was like,
Oh, thank you.
it's like the media days for women's basketball is like a holiday. I'm like, it's like
It is.
it's like
It,
yes, yes, yes. Like I'm like everybody's media day pictures. Yes, 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 yes.
yes, yes, yes. Well, like you said, that's because usually we're in sweats and we're running around. So, like, media day is the time we can dress up and look cute. So, people just have fun and they just go all out. So,
It's like dress it up and make it real for you.
all right. It's a holiday.
It is. I would say it's a holiday. It's like the best holiday. So it's like, but like, it's like if one day, if hopefully if I work with a college again with graphic design, I want to be in the media days. But like, yes, yes,
Mm,
yes, yes. Like,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
especially like those balls, them basketballs, they like bedazzle them now. I'm like, ooh,
That's right. Yeah, it's cute. Yeah, I think ours was just, like you said, red, white rubber balls. But now they do make them cuter. So,
times have changed. So
yeah, they make it Instagram worthy. 'Cause, we were back then. Instagram was cool, but nobody was thinking about, oh, this need to be Instagram picture. Like it needs to be prettier. We was just taking pictures, whatever.
and we was just having fun with it. And
Yeah,
you know what? What the viewers should know, they should have fun, is follow the queen herself. So
you
follow,
right.
follow the queen herself, not me.
What
You,
you talking about? Me? Oh,
not
yeah. I
me.
guess. Yeah,
You.
come follow me. Come follow me. Follow
That's
me.
not
And
it. You. I
follow
was
me.
pointing at
And
you. Boy,
both of us.
follow her. Follow follow Miss Dominique, and y'all be sure to tune in and follow her journey and check out Still an Athlete podcast, just like she said.
Yes.
And also be sure to check out the live replay of episode 129 of Bonafide Her
Yeah.
podcast. So be sure.
Woo!
Yeah.
My little.
It's okay. A clap is a clap.
Yeah, I tried.
So be sure to check out the live replay of Bonafide Her podcast, episode 129. This is a y'all. This is a podcast that's raw and real. So there's bloopers like these type of funny moments. So that's why it's real stuff and raw. But y'all be sure to check out episode 129 Bonafide Podcast featuring the queen herself, Miss Dominique Wilson. Oh gosh,
Wilkins, I'll
Dominique
take
Wilson.
it.
Miss Dominique Wilson. And yeah, y'all stay tuned for the live replay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Peace.